Hey, what's up everybody, Prospector here with Watcher Realms. Welcome to the channel. Guys, we have some pretty cool summonings coming up next Friday, and we also have the Candlelight Festival going on as well. So I want to talk a little bit about that and how to get yourself a free Arrogance Soulstone. But anyways, without further ado, let's dig in. Alright, so this banner coming up this weekend is pretty cool, actually. I like these. It's going to be a Divine Banner and a Invocation of Spirits. And we're going to have Boreas on there. We're going to have Lucius on there, Ares, Deimos. So Deimos is going to be on there as well. This might be a really good banner to pull on. I think on my free-to-play, I'm definitely going to be pulling on this. And on my main, I'm not so sure. There's a good chance because we do have a limited exclusive coming up soon, and maybe it's not such a good idea to pull, but we are talking about Lucius, Boreas, Ares, and Deimos. Like, if you get any of those guys, you're picking it up quite a bit on your... You're definitely picking up a notch on your account. And more so Boreas and Lucius, of course. Boreas and Lucius. Lucius is very good at taking care of those Aegis buffs on Guild Boss 2. He just removes them. And he does a ton of damage as well. He's a very good DPS unit. And then we have Boreas here, who's really good at doing anti-heal. And he's pretty much the Gear Raid 1 god. Used to be considered the biggest game-changing hero that you can pull on your account, anywhere from early to late game. So something to take into consideration going into the week here. I probably will do a Should You Summon later on and talk about it a little bit more. But I also want to talk a little bit about this Candlelight Festival. So this is for the Chinese New Year, if I'm understanding this correctly, and it goes from 127 to 205, and we're gonna get this tree. And you know me with getting like skins and stuff in the game, it's kind of like a way of showing some prestige, I guess, when you get these things and there's no other way to get them in the future, and you know, maybe 2 years down the road you'll have this tree and nobody else will, you know what I'm saying? And then, so I wanted to show you the events here because it is very rewarding and they're not that bad. Just for summoning, you're going to get all these rewards here, which is just some summoning crystals and an ancient summoning crystal. And then going and doing some farming here, you're going to be able to get yourself a bunch of your stamina back as you're doing your farming. So that's not too bad, to be honest with you. And then we have enhancing gear, which is just going to be costing gold. You want to unlock a lot of these quests, and I'll explain that in just a second. So then we have more participating in arena here, which is going to give you more tokens back. It's kind of like, you know, you're doing stuff and it's giving you some of your resources back as you're doing it, right? Claim guild boss rewards. So many times this is kind of hard to do really quickly, but you can definitely get that done. Promotion raids, doing that for a while, 20 times, and you'll get all these unlocked. And we have the resource raids, same thing, doing it 20 times, you're going to get these unlocked. And then we have just spending a whole ton of gold, which really isn't too bad. It looks like it's to be about 8 million gold, so you should be fine in doing that. And then you can unlock this little avatar here, which is pretty cool. I mean, looks like a bowl of dumplings, I think is what it is. But I mean, for an avatar, you get an avatar. It's always cool to collect avatars too. It's the same thing. If you get them, you're showing a little bit of prestige. But also completing 30 Operation Vanguard quests is going to get you the tree. The wishing tree is just something that makes your UI look a little bit cooler on your home page. You guys can be pretty familiar with these. It's going to change the way your summoning stone here looks. And right now, oh, you can kind of see it now. Here's the wishing tree. Actually, this isn't even actually available to see on a test server. I just checked and didn't realize it was on here. But yes, there's the wishing tree. You can get yourself the tree, and it does look pretty cool. I mean, we have the Eye of the Oracle right now. We have the Freya's Legacy and the regular summoning stone here. And you know me, me and skins, I definitely want to get myself this tree and get those quests complete. It's a nice, easy way to change the way your game looks a little bit. Now, I did mention in the intro that you can get yourself a free Arrogance, and I want to explain why this is so insane. Arrogance is a really cool hero. And at Awaken level 3, well, Awaken level 1 is pretty big, but then you go all the way up to Awaken level 3, it deals 15% extra damage to targets with burning. this really amps up his damage. First off, he's a really good DPS unit. I'm not a big fan of his auto ult, especially with newer options that have entered in the game, especially for the Nightmare faction. But this Awaken level 3 is insane. Now, you get to Awaken level 5, and when entering Berserker stance, immediately receives the maximum attack speed talent bonus. The first 5 stacks in a Berserker stance deals 100% extra damage. So it's just more damage as you keep going along. But the Awaken level 3 is pretty important, right? But what am I talking about? How are we going to get this? Well, in the Awakening shop. So Arrogance is one of the good heroes that pops up here in the Awakening shop. And him being as powerful and useful as he is, I think some guys and some content creators like Destin, you know, they think that he's one of the top 3 fighters in the game. For the longest time, he might get knocked down a little bit. But in all honesty, if you need a good fighter, a good ranged fighter, he can help you with so many stages of content. It's not even funny. Now, it's really cool on the Awakening shop that you can pick up this Soulstone, because we pull a lot of legendaries that we're not really big fans of, right? And you can eventually, because it does keep cycling through. This is like the, what, 3rd time I think Arrogance has gotten in the shop. It's been a year, but still, if you just keep working it, I mean, eventually you're gonna have that really, really powerful Arrogance, even if you've been really bad with RNG. Now, I did sell some heroes. Go over that in just a minute, but we're gonna go ahead and grab this, and I'm gonna awaken mine right away, and then I'll explain a little bit about selling your heroes, okay? Because that can be a little scary, a little daunting if you're going to be considering doing this. But I have a different kind of strategy of playing this game, and it seems to work out for me pretty well. I'm not going to tell you that you should or shouldn't do what I do, but it's definitely an option for you. Now, first, some people have it in them, okay, that they want to have at least 1 copy of every hero, and then if they pull dupes of bad heroes, they'll sell those, okay? I'm not afraid to sell a bad hero if it's my only copy. If it's connected to some kind of bond skill, I'll be a little more cautious about it. As something like Arrogance himself or a Lust, those aren't really bad heroes, but we also, I think even Celine here has a bond skill. So yeah, with Giselle, if maybe Giselle, she's not a really good hero. You maybe not want to sell that hero because of that. We have Maw, who gives you the extra ability to use Demon Captain Maw and kill versus guild. Maybe you don't want to sell that hero. I don't think you lose the ability, but I don't know. I don't know if you can get it and then it unlocks it and you get to keep that ability or not. I'm not gonna risk selling one of these heroes to find out. I'll tell you that much. But there is bad heroes that you can definitely sell if it's gonna amp you up with something like Arrogance, right? So if you have 4 heroes at Kineza's level, for example, and you're not using Kineza, I'm not gonna snub Kineza. She's a decent hero for what she is, but she definitely doesn't hold out in the end game, or late to end game, whatever it is that you're working on. And you could really consider selling this hero. Now, there's a lot of heroes here that I will tell you, as a CC whale anyways, I just don't need. The rarer ones, I'm gonna hold on to something like anything that's like chaotic faction, like Admiral Claw. I'm not a fan of the guy, but he comes from the Chaos faction, and I'm gonna hold on to that guy. Something like an Absan, this is something you could sell, but he is somewhat niche in the Starpiercer faction trials. But with that being said, you could definitely sell a copy of him after you have unlocked Power of Dominance for that trial, and then you should be able to take care of it without him. He doesn't have any other use, honestly, in any other content in the game that I've been able to find. The guy is just kind of trash, So for me, what I ended up doing is I sold a few duplicates of some heroes. I think there's like extra Shamir. I know, Wavefaken 5, he's supposed to be good. I just don't care. He's not that good. I sold an extra copy of Regulus. I sold an extra copy of Ares. And I sold my only copy of Kriya. And that would be like the third or fourth Kriya that I've actually sold, and I just don't care. I mean, I don't need them. I don't see what I could use them for. Even if they give them a buff or something along those lines, I'll probably pull that hero a few more times again. So I'm not really worried about it as like, you know, in my level. And if I can work up my Arrogance's strength, I'm definitely going to do that. It's going to help me more, even though I barely use him as well. But he can definitely be used in much more content than any of those other heroes in my account. That's for sure. But anyways, guys, that's how you're going to get yourself an Arrogance. I hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to join the Discord. I'd be happy to see you in there. Let me know if you're going to sell any heroes for picking up an extra copy of Arrogance to try to awaken him, and then, you know, maybe down in the comment section, just tell me what heroes you decided to sell. I'm kind of curious, like, what kind of route people are taking. Are you very specific where you need to have at least one copy of every single hero in the game? Or are you kind of willing to sell some heroes to pick up some other ones? And do something very similar in the free-to-play, especially if heroes that are very useful to me show up here as epic soulstones. I'll say, like, last week Oleg was in there and I sold myself Selkath and a few other things to pick up that copy of Oleg. So there's definitely different ways of playing and definitely different ways of strategizing this. But Arrogance is totally worth it, isn't it? Worth it? I mean, this guy is just a beast. So anyways, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep digging.